Hello my friends and welcome back to my channel. There is not much to say about HDR and still wakes the deep. The only thing what I have to say is that if you have a proper HDR screen, I would strongly recommend to use HDR. And the reason why I recommend to use HDR in this game is actually very simple. First of all, we're talking about our almost perfect HDR black level floor. Yes, almost perfect. I know it's not perfect, but I'm very sure that no one can complain about this very minor HDR black level raise. And the second reason why I recommend to use HDR in this game is the maximum peak brightness in specular highlights. With the maximum in-game setting in the game, in-game setting set to 10,000 nits, I measured around 6,000 to 7,000 nits maximum peak brightness in specular highlights. And if you have a screen, TV or monitor with a very high maximum peak brightness capability, that means you will have a very good experience when you play this game in HDR. Because first of all, we have a very good, almost perfect HDR black level floor. Plus, we have very bright specular highlights. And that means we have a very good contrast in this game. Contrast is the difference between the darkest part of a picture and the brightest part of a picture. And there's nothing more important than contrast in a horror game. Okay, maybe gameplay, but I think you get my point. Okay, so we talked about HDR black level floor and we talked about the maximum peak brightness. What about HDR colors? And yes, we have some sort of HDR colors in use, but as in many other games, most of the time we're talking about Rec 709 SDR colors. Okay, so what is now my recommendation in regards of settings? And to be very honest, there's not much to recommend because the only two settings what we have is, first of all, the HDR content brightness setting and the HDR user interface setting. And as always, the HDR user interface brightness setting is really just for the menu and for HUD symbols on the screen, so you can set this up as you like it. It gets a little bit more interesting when we're now talking about the HDR content brightness setting, because this is actually the maximum peak brightness in specular highlights. So all what you need to know is now the maximum peak brightness capability of your screen, TV or monitor. And if you don't know the maximum peak brightness capability of your screen, TV or monitor, then I would recommend to have a look on the website rthings.com, because they're actually doing a lot of testing and they're also measuring the maximum peak brightness capabilities. And maybe you're lucky and it tested your screen, TV or monitor as well. Okay, my friends, so that's it for this video. I say thank you very much for watching me. Please don't forget to like, share and subscribe. And I will talk to you next time. Bye.